What is that, a standing backflip? Good morning? It's a fun salute. And they're all wearing the same color underwear, like it's part of the uniform. This is just in case this happens, right?
This is SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on this digital Sports Center presented by TELUS. Week 2 of the NFL season is almost in the books, and we had a very eventful Sunday. The action ended with the Miami Dolphins making a statement, with a road win over the Patriots moving to 2-0 on the season. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has now improved to 5-0 against Belichick in his career. He's the first QB to have 5 straight wins against him, while Miami sits alone atop the AFC East, ahead of the Bills, Jets, and Patriots. Tua has also vaulted himself into the early favorite to an MVP ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. Even though it's early in the season, there is a significant trend to take note of. Since 1990, only 31 of the 270 teams that began the season 0-2 advanced to the playoffs, which is only 11%. Historically, that means all of these 0-2 teams are facing an uphill climb the rest of the season. One of those teams happens to be the Bengals, who fell to the Ravens. But Cincinnati has shown they can defy the odds. They're the only team to start 0-2 and make the playoffs, since the NFL changed its playoff format. However, the status of their star quarterback, Joe Burrow, may be up in the air as he's dealing with a calf injury. With more on an exciting week 2, we bring in our NFL analyst, Davis Sanchez. Thanks for joining us, Ches.
What's up, Marissa?
All right, Chezzy, let's get right into it. Of all the team performances on Sunday, which team made the biggest statement?
The Miami Dolphins, they might be the fastest team in the history of the world in any sport, even track and field. The craziest thing with watching them play yesterday, the running backs, Tyreek Hill might not even be the fastest player on that team. He might be the 3rd or 4th fastest. Now, I'm kind of exaggerating, but their 2 running backs have world-class top speed, and at least in the NFL, they have top speed. And we're talking about Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. The Patriots are really good, and I didn't think for 1 second that they could consistently stop the Dolphins. Marissa, who is going to stop the Dolphins this year with that speed?
All right, let's shift our focus to tonight, the Browns and Steelers on Monday Night Football. Cleveland looked amazing in Week 1. Pittsburgh was awful. The Steelers are underdogs at home tonight. Who do you like to win this evening?
Steelers are awful. Do you know where you work? You are going to be ostracized. You cannot talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers like that in our building. But I will join you. They were terrible, and their offense looked terrible. But 2 of the biggest overreactions in Week 1 probably the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the being bad, and the defense of the Cleveland Browns being good. The Browns defense is really good, or look good, but I think they get brought down to life a little bit tonight. Just expect the Steelers to run the ball a bit more with Najee Harris. I'm not going to pick the game because I don't know who's going to win this game. I think it's a tough one after 1 week. It's tough to choose between these teams. But Najee Harris, lock this one in. Pay attention. Najee Harris over 50 yards rushing. They'll get it going on the ground.
Thanks again, Chezzy. Enjoy the games tonight.
Thank you.
And you can catch the Browns and Steelers tonight on TSN, 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific. If you want to get in on the action even early, we have the Saints and Panthers beginning at 7:15 Eastern, 4:15 Pacific. Meanwhile, in the NHL, before the season starts, Mike Babcock resigns as the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets amid allegations of invading players' privacy. Today, the organization introduced its replacement, Pascal Vincent, while shedding some more light on Babcock's departure.
This is a major misstep that we have to move past. I would like to thank the NHL, and I would like to thank the NHL Players Association. When we first heard of these issues, when we had discussions with both of those groups, we welcomed an investigation. They were very transparent with the information we received, and we digested the information. And from there, in talking with Mike Babcock, we decided there was no going back. The resignation went forward from that point on.
On behalf of all of Saskatchewan, I would just personally like to say, sorry, I don't know what happened here. Last Thursday was all doom and gloom for the Toronto Blue Jays as they were swept by the Texas Rangers in embarrassing fashion. Now though, in typical Toronto fashion, things are looking up after a sweep of Boston, capped off by another dramatic win on Sunday. The 3-2 win was a 2nd straight walk-off victory for Toronto. And even though they're still struggling to score runs, they only allowed a total of 5 in the 3-game set. For all the talk of Vladdy having a down year, Guerrero Jr. has homered 3 times in the last 4 games. And if he keeps this pace up, he could finish the season with 30 home runs and over 100 RBIs for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. Now let's talk about the all-important standings because that's really all that matters right now. Toronto has a second wildcard spot behind Tampa as they get set for a 3-game series in New York. And the tables have turned on Texas and Seattle, who have both lost 3 in a row. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, the losing should stop for both teams as the Rangers get Boston next, while Seattle has an even easier time in Oakland. Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
Okay, this is going to be a football-heavy Why We Love Sports because there are so many funny moments that happen every Sunday. Starting with perhaps the most amazing mic'd up ref moment we've ever seen. This had everyone cracking up. I'm really looking forward to cracking up.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me. It's a 10-yard penalty and a loss of down. It'll be second down.
That is the best line I've ever heard out of an official.
For the second week in a row, Geno Smith is part of the best Mike moment. And we cannot wait to see what he has in store for us next week. Moving to Jacksonville now, where Travis Kelce made his season debut, amidst rumors of he and Taylor Swift hanging out, which you know because you watch the show. And after scoring his touchdown, the commentator had the best one-liner.
Kelce finds a blank space for the score.
Wonder how long he had that one in his back pocket. And finally, let's go to the Sunday Nighter with a coaching matchup with two guys that could not be more different. After his halftime interview, Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel noticed the camera and had some fun as he was walking off the field. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick is not one for so much intentional fun on camera, but it's the little things like this all-time challenge flag spike that had the football world in stitches. It's just, he was so awkward the way he pulled it out of his sock. And a reminder, this is only week 2. We've got so much more to go. That's all for today. We'll see you right back in tomorrow at 3 Eastern. No Pacific. Have a good one.